Yes, guys, Irish Boy 1786, welcome back. So yeah, we're going to watch this documentary, and we're going to just have some like relaxed time on it, and like um, and then we basically as I said, it's basically organized in two parts. We just have to put in like both of the videos. It's basically split in half and half. And maybe react to it, or like whatever. We will see whatever is whatever the thing brings on, basically. If you guys enjoy the show, hit the follow button. If you're here new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have Amazon Prime, think about giving your free trial in, to give like your even just for a month, your free sub to our channel, and try it out if you're happy, if you're satisfied with it and stuff. And otherwise, just give it a go. I mean, I would suggest that. And we accept donations as well. The link on my on the section about of my Twitch channel, of course. And also, if you guys want to clip the stream, you can. I'm gonna repost and feature everything, and this is gonna stay on Twitch and YouTube permanently. And hope you guys enjoy. So let's go with this. So what I'm going to do, I'll go now on Microsoft Movies and TVs. Then we have my videos, my game videos. Gaiden 2. I have downloaded basically the school videos to find the schools in all of the locations, but we've done the first playthrough already, so it's a bit pointless now at this point. But yeah, here we go, our guy. Hope it works.
people are so excited for this game. I mean, this is really bloody and really awesome and innovative, and there's crazy enemies, and it just looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, no.
It's very realistic.
It's probably like a trial version.
It's very fantastic when it comes to the sort of superhuman athletics and the magical powers.
It's exploring new worlds, seeing new places and new creations.
Fantastic, beautiful, historical.
Well, I have to say that the level in Venice was pretty cool, and the one in New York as well was pretty cool. That was really, really astonishing.
Good, and gameplay is secondary, but fans of the series know the gameplay is not going to be secondary.
I've never seen violence that was that crazy. It's just so over the top. It's like the best of the slasher movies out there.
The dismemberment that's amazing.
This game is non-stop action. I mean, one after another, boom, 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 boom. It's to the point where it's like so over the top. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And you know, it's like you do it again. Oh, can I do it again? And you just want to keep doing it.
There's just body parts all over, and it's awesome.
But I agree with all of them. It was fucking awesome. Anyway.
The thing about Team Ninja is they're very, very specialized, very, very skillful. They have this amazing reputation that's kind of a little intimidating, but you know if you send them in, the job's going to get done.
Team Ninja. To simply call them game developers is to not understand who they are.
They have real
contain
swords.
A soul, a tight-knit clan. Their vision, their
Oh my
passion, and their drive begins with their leader, Tomonabu Itagaki.
Here he goes.
A free spirit who demands perfection.
Itagaki definitely stands apart from his games. He really walks into a room as if he was Mick Jagger circa 1973. There's just something so kind of raw and exciting about him.
He looks like a little bit like him. Yeah, that's true.
So consistent with the games that he makes.
Itagaki-san is the driving force. He is the inspiration. He is the one.
I would like to play that version as well. Yeah, I agree with you.
Not only in terms of what he wants to see in his game, but also the philosophy, how we act, how everybody treats each other.
Maybe the demo. I can't download the demo. I don't know why, but yeah.
Probably only 3 would be people that I would actually be able to relate to. It's very important to have those people with you and nearby. And when it comes time to fight, those are the kind of people you need by your side, and those are the kind of people you have to have in order to accomplish something.
Itagaki-san is
Okay.
the headmaster,
Cool.
and I think he looks at Team Ninja as his family.
Team Ninja headquarters. Pretty cool. Interesting. Here the alt bar is green. Yeah.
Every single person on the
The game entered gold already.
the highest Itagaki-san to the lowest, guy working in the trenches, they all are like I'm going to do my best job on this particular element. When you have 80, 90 people with that same goal, it's just amazing.
Yeah, believe that.
Our rules are simple. Do your best and never lie.
Itagaki is faced with issues big and small every day. Because his vision comes from within, his decisions are swift and true.
It would have been cool to have bats up there. That explains everything. I think he was telling them how to, like, some parts they didn't like, to change them, how to make them different.
I think it's
But yeah.
amazing how he's able to come in and make decisions swiftly and decisively.
My God.
He's just saying, look, you know.
Can you imagine your boss?
I'll just make it, and then let's move on to the next.
Does that work?
He will, literally. Not joking. He'll make an instant decision and he'll make the best decision right then and there, and I think that's a gift that he has. And I trust him implicitly when it comes to making those kinds of decisions.
I tend to look for people that have things that I don't have, that can bring something that I don't possess to the team, and a good example of that is Matsui. In Ninja Gaiden 2, the main character, Ryu Hayabusa, is a character that was designed by Matsui.
Right, so although it takes inspiration from the original Ninja Gaiden of 1989, it was a Nintendo game. First Nintendo.
The character of Ryu Hayabusa had existed before I even started working at Tecmo.
Yeah.
It was in the old Ninja Gaiden games for Nintendo Entertainment System back in the 80s.
Indeed, yeah.
The first Ninja Gaiden was the story of him kind of realizing his potential as the Super Ninja. As we see him throughout his journey in Ninja Gaiden 2, he is kind of using that knowledge and applying that to every situation that he's running into. You can kind of see that progression as he grows up.
I have a big crush on Ryu. He is a super stud as well as a super ninja. He's powerful, he's strong and silent, he's got, you know, those massive biceps, and he can, you know, kill anything in his path.
He is somewhat of an iconic character, this mysterious, very charismatic character in many ways.
We wanted to portray Ryo Hayabusa as being the kind of ninja that comes along once in many generations. I realized
It must be still a beta version, I guess.
Go all the way back and think about what our ninjas
The purple bar.
What makes a ninja who he is.
Oh, look at that.
The ninja of Japan had several famous qualities. One was enduring patience. In fact, the nin of ninja, when you write it, that's what it translates as, enduring patience. It means
interesting.
I've got my eye on the big goal, the big battle, and I'm not tempted to get involved in little small battles along the way. Skills like moving across water, up a castle wall in a shadow.
So they couldn't play modern games, because
necessity to the ninja, because the ninja was an intelligence gatherer. They needed to go secretly into areas where they could find out what was going on.
modern games are flooded with submissions, so you get lost at some point.
Willing to sacrifice their lives for the sake of the greater good. That was a core concept that I knew we needed to express first before we could delve into his character even deeper.
Every day was the potential for extreme violence. And so to live with that every day, knowing this may be my last day, this may be the last day my family lives, took an enormous amount of strength.
Oh, yeah.
To be balanced physically and mentally, it's very important. Otherwise, you're going to be like one-sided kind of person. So to find a balance in between becomes very important.
Yeah, I know.
The way of the ninja required one to balance mind and body. break down the Japanese ideogram for nin, you'll find heart and blade. You can inspire the heart, but also require a blade.
It's okay for a game to be slightly unbalanced, but it has to have an overall sense of beauty to it.
And I agree. That's why I like this game. It's freaking unbalanced, but it's very cool.
It's obvious when you look at Itagaki's
Now I know why.
games that he wants them to look good in service to the gameplay, to show the intensity of the violence.
The beauty is definitely important because we need that to contrast with the violence because we're trying to create an overall image. There was a book many years back about Japanese philosophy called Chrysanthemum and the Sword. And chrysanthemum is a symbol of beauty, and the sword is a symbol of fighting and winning. We really try to bring those elements together so that you have the beautiful backdrops, but then you have the violence and you have the fighting that's going on in front of it.
I strive to include things that everybody can find beautiful. The flower, bird, the wind, the moon. These are the things that are universal, that everybody finds beautiful.
Oh, so.
Ka is flower, Cho is bird, Hu is the wind, and Getsu is the moon. And those are the elements that are really used in Japanese art.
Oh yeah. The cherry blossoms are crazy.
Types of flowers.
Astonishing.
I think that some of the ones we like are, of course, the cherry blossoms because of how beautiful they are, but also how fragile. I think if you go back and look at all of our
Yeah, they last only 1 or 2 weeks and then they die, I think.
one point or another.
For what my
Mountains and rivers and things
for
like
what
that.
I know.
So I really like the beauty of the landscapes. So I may go to a river and I'll notice like a stand of weeds or some plants by the side of the river, and I'll get down with my camera and get down into a low pose and take a shot with the light coming from the other side. I'll go back and I look at how the light behaves and how it shines, and I'll say, is it possible to recreate that effect? I think it's important not only to try to mimic reality, but also try to understand what makes that environment beautiful.
Oh yeah. And recreate it in a video game, which is not easy at all, by the way. It's kind of like, it's quite challenging.
A game developed by Itagaki-san. They're looking for a high difficulty level, but they're also looking for this almost irreverent cultural tone.
You don't have too many games that are set in modern times with a kind of...
I love the New York
so it's kind of a different perspective
chapters.
because the settings are modern day.
Levels.
But his abilities are still rooted in the past, in the ninja tradition.
I think it's chapter 2 and 3, by the way. I really, really like them. Yeah.
I think every Japanese feels the respect towards
Chaotic Western
culture,
city.
and
Very
that's
cool.
something that is always present. The influence is huge. It's in my DNA.
I think a bottle of beer, man, while he's talking. There is a bottle over there, but is it beer or...
To go to the birthplace of the ninja, one must travel outside of Kyoto to the mountains of Iga.
Oh.
The mountains of Iga are not tall, high mountains. They're old mountains. There was a young warrior who came from the village of Togakure, and he ended up in Iga. He encountered these teachers in the mountains.
There were lots of people living in that area. They
Okay.
came from China, really.
Oh, wow.
They developed their own fighting style.
And this is how the Togakure lineage of the ninja began. The samurai families were the noble aristocrats who ran the country.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying this morning. One,
tried to
yeah.
gain political control that would allow them to be leaders of their own destiny.
Yeah. Also, why they have the face cover? That'll be good to know.
Warlord or samurai than it was for a ninja. And I think examining how the ninja lived and how they prepare for that fate is what kind of interests me.
Their approach to war was very different because the ninja didn't have the money, they didn't have the people to mount a similar army, so they needed a different way of winning. And that created what we know of as the art of the ninja.
The ninja of feudal Japan have faded into history, but the teachings of ninja live on.
The tradition has been passed on.
We're in the Hombu Dojo. This is where it originates from in the ninjutsu world. This is Hatsumi Sensei's dojo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He is Muramasa. He is Muramasa.
1970s to study with him.
Yeah, it's him, it's him.
And he's the 34th head of this Togakure lineage. His teacher was Toshitsugu Takamatsu, the 33rd headmaster. He was born in the 1800s.
Okay.
Takamatsu Sensei chose
quite
Hatsumi
old.
Sensei as his heir, as the one to take it on into the 20th century.
Oh, yeah.
There are 5 important teachings in ninjutsu. Undying devotion. You must always follow the precepts of a true path. Natural endurance. Natural transcendence. And the last is enlightenment. This essence of light is the same way the sun gives off radiance to the earth.
Enlightenment, oh, that's pretty tough. I will never get enlightened in my life, I think.
The tradition that he has is around 900 years old.
Hopefully it doesn't catch you up.
So our lineage, we refer to it as 34 generations old.
It just looks like him.
This particular type of a clan is not bloodline, but this is a clan.
The whole ninja culture was based on preserving the clan because in ancient Japan, there was a feudal system. Everyone was a member of a caste, but the ninjas were outcasts. They weren't part of the system, so their entire existence depended on every individual member, willing to sacrifice their lives for the sake of the greater good.
The dragon sword is gripped firmly in the hands of young ninja Ryu Hayabusa.
This is the first game, as we all know.
In Ninja Gaiden, the Hayabusa clan is Ryu's family. It was their fate that sent Ryu on this path.
In the story of the first game, the Lord of the Greater Fiends Doku is sent to the Hayabusa village to retrieve the Dark Dragon Blade, and in the process, he slays all of Ryo's clan members. He basically decides to set off on revenge. So the story of Ninja Gaiden 1 is Ryo Hayabusa's journey to the Vigo Empire to wipe it out, and he is ultimately successful.
Yeah.
In ancient days, if someone lost their family, a ninja's clan was wiped out. Their view was that the spirits of that clan, they still exist. They still have an investment in what happens on the earthly plane. It would be that
That's
one
very
last
interesting.
ninja's moral imperative to go out and right the wrongs that created the ability for these murders to happen. That becomes his whole mission in life.
Ryu, they're heading for the Hayabusa village. Your clan is in danger.
The story of Ninja Gaiden 2
If she would have been real, she would have been pretty sexy. I mean, come on. Can't say anything.
But there's actually another group of fiends that exists.
Dagradai resurrects and restores the archfiend to power.
I prefer Sonya to Rachel, I don't know why. Don't know why.
Once again, the Hayabusa
Don't know what it
village
is,
is
but
attacked because it holds a sacred artifact that these fiends need to attempt this resurrection. Hayabusa basically has to once again avenge the deaths of his fellow clan members.
yeah.
there is another side element that's very important, which is the struggle between the Black Spider Ninja Clan. Their leader, whose name is Genshin, provides a foil for Hayabusa.
How the vaunted Dragon Ninja bloodline has withered.
The Black Spider Ninja Clan, under the leadership of Genshin, has kind of teamed up with the Fiends.
You need to tell me why he has a Russian accent, but if you tell me that, okay, I have peace of mind, but I'm just curious to understand.
Essential male hero. He reflects all of the ideals that we have, about fighting for something that you believe in, about, wanting to protect your loved ones, about, wanting justice against evil.
Even though you have that ruthlessness part of him, you know the things that why he's doing things, and as you're controlling him.
Oh, the red eyes. Oh, interesting. I don't know.
And the storyline behind the game is towards that justice, and I think that
Maybe it was kind of like a Devil Trigger mode that they were like envisioning and they didn't put in the final game. I don't know.
We wanted to portray in his character the feeling that not only is he incredibly powerful, but he has responsibilities. He isn't a lone wolf. He is part of a clan.
But it's so far it's the most violent game I've played in my entire life, I think.
And then you come up with the enemies. But this time around, our artists came up with a group of amazing, high-quality enemies, but we couldn't put them all in, so we had to figure out how we were going to organize them. So we started out with getting 4 greater fiends, who are kind of the big bosses of the game.
You may call me Alexei, greater fiend and ruler of storms. I am Sidonius, ruler of flame.
Elizabeth.
The puppet, the dolls are really creepy.
Now we know who our main bosses are going to be, but we have a huge amount of high-quality enemies that have already been modeled and are ready to be put in.
That's right.
Now, for various reasons, we can't put every single one of those enemies in. We went in and decided what enemy was going to be in the game and which were not.
Oh my god.
Every guy on a team has enemies that he likes, that he's worked on, he doesn't want to see go. We might be out drinking one night and one of the team members will saddle up to me with a drink and he'd be acting like a door-to-door salesman. He'd be like, well, you know, that this enemy has a really cool tail attack, and I just want you to know that he could be really fun in certain situations. So some enemies actually got put back in because some of the team members were so attached.
Okay. So they excluded some enemies, apparently. Let us play with the excluded. Give us a director's cut version of the game.
The enemies
Why
in the
not?
game, they really come at you with everything they've got. They're just filled with the
Be
desire
late
to
now,
finish
but
you off.
Never say never.
The pleasure that you get when you finally defeat those enemies.
The enemy AI is responding intelligently to the battle that's going on. So the way you injure the enemy AI is going to actually influence the way they fight you. The intensity of the fighting is going to be ratcheted up because this enemy is going to feel more threatened. They're going to be desperate. You almost feel like you're playing against a human player.
The first game was basically, you got an enemy's life down to 0, now he's dead. But in this game, you can lop off limbs and then do an obliteration technique which will finish an enemy off quicker.
Oh yeah.
But one of the coolest things about the obliteration technique system is that it'll actually change up the move depending on the situation. So you might get one move for a left arm, and you might get another move for a right arm, and then a different move for a decapitation or for.
I wish we did get the extra enemies. They technically could do it now. Next gen is yeah.
So if an enemy loses an arm or loses a leg, their AI will change accordingly, and the attacks that they do will change accordingly. If an enemy has lost an arm or a leg, you can finish them off quicker, so you have the incentive to finish the battles faster.
Yeah, I think now they did the Master Collection. I think probably they would go more for Ninja Gaiden 4, I think.
As quickly as possible. That's what the ninja wanted to do. get it over with
in terms
very
of
quickly
predictions.
so that somebody else wouldn't sneak a lucky move in or wear down the ninja or give them time for their allies to show up and assist them. So it
That was in
became
real
very
life.
important. One move, fight's over.
Itagaki-san has talked about a lot in interviews. There's definitely a idea in the Japanese warrior code that you know, if you're fighting a guy who's, you know, reasonably skilled, that there should be a certain amount of respect. Hayabusa, you know, respects
Oh yeah,
this.
that's
And
true as well.
rather than letting an enemy, you know, suffer, putting them out of their misery is one way of saying, hey, I respect you, you fought well, now it's time for your soul to go on to the next plane.
But that screen was super cool in that level. On the bridge when you go to the other side of the... Interesting.
The ninja's combat art was called taijutsu. This is the art of using the body. Enormous endurance, the ability to take a hit, the ability to climb where nobody else can climb. This is a part of the historical training. That kind
So
of
they
intense
were capable of doing those super high jumps.
The ninja
Apparently.
often operated under tremendous physical and mental stress, where the price of failure was death. To
That's
prepare,
crazy.
Mind and body were trained until a ninja's edge was sharper than the blade they wielded.
That's plastic blade, I can tell.
In Japan, you don't ask questions. You wait to get the answers. So you get in the dojo, the first day you just learn some postures. You're like, what's this for? Well, you're already not learning if you're asking the question. In America, we want to ask questions. Well, you know, how do you do this? How do you do that? In Japan, you just train, and your teacher will give you those answers through learning.
Okay. So the world is so
Sensei
different.
said that it takes, you know, about 15 to 20 years to even get to that level. You know, perseverance to continue.
It is human nature to seek answers. The ninja often learned from what was unsaid, left to search for meaning while pondering the motives of the masters. It was a difficult and vital step on the path to enlightenment.
Itagaki just seems to have that personality and demeanor that he wants to create something that's really good but really challenging. And you're almost not just trying to beat the game, but you're trying to appease him and get his approval if you can actually survive.
Okay. He must have been really
People that
picky,
don't
really
do their
tough
best.
with
So when I'm challenging something, and when I have
the
a
other
goal,
developers, I
I
think.
put everything that I have and all of my
A
time into
positive
achieving
sense of the
that
way,
goal.
I think.
With Itagaki's games and with Team Ninja's production quality, it's never so much as simple as just working your way from one level to the next. There's always more stuff going on. There's always subquests to do and secrets to find and that kind of thing.
In Ninja Gaiden 2, you come to this gap in your path. A new user to the game isn't going to know that you're supposed to do the wall run to get past this gap. They're going to just kind of stand there and wonder what to do. Well, instead of just throwing up some tutorial text to say, here's how you do the wall run, they ended up having some enemies run towards them, do the wall run themselves, and then users were able to see that, defeat the enemies, do the wall run to get across that gap and keep playing the game. It's a great example of Team Ninja being able to create these engaging experiences that are teaching people how to play the game.
When Ninja Gaiden, the first one, was going through certification, you know, they actually had to fly in a guy from Team Ninja to play the game for us because nobody here could get through us. And these are, you know, game testers, people who play games for a living, and even they were just like, dude, call Japan, we need some help.
It challenges your sense of yourself as a gamer. Like, man, can I really play this game?
Yeah.
I picked up
Well, that's true.
pretty early on, kicked my butt a whole lot
Yeah.
more than games of of that ilk, which I kind of like that. I kind of like a game that pushes you to your limits.
I kept on playing and trying to get past it. That's usually the good indicator that even if a game is difficult, that it's still well made, is that you don't put down the controller and walk away from it. It was just me until 3 o'clock in the morning, fighting. And when you finally did get through it, you just felt like a hero.
Oh, true.
People may say that is a
Feel like invincible, but then you go to the next chapter and they kick your ass again.
parts where they were frustrated by it. The key, I think, for us is that we want to make something that people are waiting for.
A lot of people believe the first game was difficult in a frustrating way. One of our goals in the beginning of development was to approach it in a way that we could make the game accessible to as many gamers as possible.
The fact that there's this regenerating health bar that a lot of people associate with traditional style games like shooters, where you go run into a corner and you wait for your health to come back. And that change and the way that he's implementing it is a way to allow non-hardcore gamers to get into the game and play it and not feel deeply punished. But if you set it to the most difficult setting, it's not going to interfere. It's not going to be a different Ninja Gaiden experience in terms of the difficulty if you want it to be hard.
Okay.
Hajime Sensei teaches that ninjutsu is the art of 1,000 forms and infinite variations. The weapons
Yellowbeard 1974, welcome to the stream.
as they were deadly.
How's it going?
The ninja would employ tools that fit into the community in a way that maybe they didn't even look like a weapon.
We've got a number of great new weapons that are making their first appearance in Ninja Gaiden 2. The goal is to make every weapon good enough that you want to play the entire game through it. And you're going to feel like you're having a unique experience each time. We have the scythe.
It's one of the best weapons in the game, I think. That's my opinion.
That can wield that has a very large area of effect. It has a very wide arc. This is something that is very fun to wield, and it's very satisfying.
That's true as well.
Just being able to cut through enemies.
Much more than what you would realize, because as you start using it,
What this basically does is
it's much longer range.
Weapon.
What do you think?
He can run on walls, he can jump. Claws allow him to apply that to fighting.
All of his martial arts and all of his athletics and acrobatics are able to be used.
You, Goomba, welcome to the stream.
The long bow, back in ancient times, was about 6 feet tall, which is actually taller than the people in those days. And it was a
6
great
feet.
weapon because they were everywhere, a walking staff.
Fucking tall like
a lot of attention.
a little less than me.
The lunar staff was a weapon that has appeared in previous games. Before, it
Oops,
was really just a
I said
staff.
my height.
In
I just said my height.
Gaiden, it's a staff that has
That's
iron
fine.
weights on each end that are connected with chains. And each of these iron weights have spikes, so, as you can imagine, as you're swinging this thing around, it is incredibly lethal.
But 6 feet is crazy. How the heck you even like carry
The
it?
Kusarigama was a very interesting
That's
weapon.
ridiculous.
On one end would be a blade on a handle sticking out, long chain, and on the end of the chain would be a weight.
The cool thing about this weapon is you can not only do cutting attacks with the sickle portion of it, but you can also do pulverizing and smashing attacks with the iron weight that's attached on the end.
And so in the heat of battle, this weight thrown at an attacker would hit, aiming at the hands, very fragile bones there, holding a sword, or the face, something that would make that attacker flinch. Could you imagine the terror that the swordsman felt? And all of a sudden, here's this hit to the face. Where did that come from?
You have the tonfa. It was what the nightstick is based off. You hold them in each hand and it's swung to hit enemies. And this is really cool because it's a hitting action, not a slicing action. So when that connects with an enemy, you're gonna feel it crack.
I like it, but
These are weapons
I cannot
that
hide the fact that
you hold them in both
it's not
hands,
super
so
easy to
they're
use.
very similar to the claws in that they're very speedy and can hit the enemy multiple times.
Yeah. You kinda need to learn how to use them a little bit
Tonfas, you
because
can actually pulverize that limb into basically ground meat.
Very
It's
important
even
to
different from the
combat
Bigorian
in
flail.
ancient Japan was the Japanese sword, the katana. It was used on foot by samurai in later years. So that was the #1 weapon. And the ninja, of course, had to be very familiar defending against that sword, but also using swords themselves.
In the first game, the dragon sword was pretty much considered the default weapon and the best weapon, and if you wanted to get through the game easily, use the dragon sword.
You'll notice that the dragon sword
Not
this time
here?
around is a lot more flexible. It has a lot more moves. It can really be a signature weapon for Hayabusa, and is a great partner to all the obliteration techniques.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. How about the double sword? Will they talk about the double sword?
There was a skill of fighting with 2 swords at the same time. And
Yeah,
so
here we
you can
go.
Imagine how confusing that would be to an enemy who's used to seeing just one at a time.
The dual katanas were present in Ninja Gaiden Sigma, but in that game they were
Just see everything with
it
the
didn't have
top.
a lot of moves, and there were very few things that you could do with it. This time around, though, we were obviously re-envisioning it as a completely new weapon. You have obliteration techniques, and there are so
Yeah,
many things that you can do with this
I ended up
like
using the
simply
dual
turning
swords for a
every
lot,
hands on a new dual katana.
for many parts of this game, to be honest. Especially in many boss fights, I found them very little, to be honest. And also, you get like you get them a level 4 after killing Master Genshin before the last chapter.
So lethal with body and blade were known as invisible warriors, a tribute to their concealment skills and a lack of true knowledge about them. Rumors spoke of ninja who used magic to disappear, walk across water, or strike down an enemy.
Well, the term ninjutsu, jutsu means an art or a technique. And then there's another term, ninpo. Ninpo would be the magic of knowing how the universe and the inhabitants, the people and the animals and the weather and everything, knowing how that works. And so that is the traditional magic of the ninja.
Okay.
Ninpo is supposed to be ninja magic. And I think a lot of people in the first game felt like, yeah, they were cool, but, you know, it was really a take it or leave it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with
What
that.
we're trying to do in this game is make sure that each one has its own individual purpose, and make sure that although the ninpos are, of course, designed to kill enemies, that you really get the satisfaction and feeling that you finish an enemy off.
The new game, you want to use them, right? You want to be constantly pushing that Ninpo button because it's just so badass what happens.
But also the animation saves your ass lots of the times because you're invincible during the Ninpo animation, by the way. So I found it helpful even about that quite a few times.
Fire Ninpo, and you hit an enemy with it. That enemy will be enveloped in flames and will run screaming on fire until it finally burns to death.
Yeah.
We have a Ninpo in Ninja Gaiden 2 called the Wind Blades. Shoots out blades of wind that can
Oh
split
yeah.
into pieces.
Didn't use it much though, but yeah. I think Inferno is still the best one.
Said, the enemy should be just cut into pieces. Just cut him into shreds.
Especially at level 3.
Thinking about how to best achieve that, he came to me with this comic book and said, "Look at this. Here's one way."
Windblade's best simple. Dual swords are boss destroyer. Windblade's best simple. Yeah.
Itagaki-san first came to me to explain what he wanted this
I did beat
Ninpo
many
to
bosses
do.
with the dual
I didn't
swords.
really understand what he
Yeah.
was getting at. I couldn't really conceive what he was looking for. It wasn't until we went through several versions and it became what it is right now that I finally got it and said, "Oh, I see. This is what he was shooting for."
I find myself like with normal enemies more the lunar stuff, but many boss fights like the dual swords are the jackpot, really.
But actually they're grounded in reality. For instance, ninja are heard of as walking on water. Well, how would you do that? In the marshes of Iga, there are a lot of plants that grow there in shallow water.
Ah, yeah.
There could be a construction that a ninja would use. It looks like a great big giant raft that could be strapped to a foot. And by sliding those, they would push the plant growth down and create some stability for themselves. Now, when you look at it, it looks like the ninja is walking on water.
Yeah, although I think the level 3 of Inferno, the staggering thing was like you could have like locked multiple enemies, and I think it wasn't possible in the first game. So that's how I found it like an upgrade, to be honest. And it was so Inferno level 3 in here is really surprising, and it works much better, I think, compared to the first game. Yeah, Windblades. I found the Piercing Void to be quite effective as well. Although you still have... Well, we didn't get level 3 with the Piercing Void, but...
Ninja Gaiden 1 was the first action game that we ever did. We knew that there was a ton of things that needed to be improved on.
Sleeping Beauty Sinner, welcome to the stream.
Despite the fact that the first Ninja Gaiden was known as an amazing game and a masterpiece by a lot of gamers out there, we didn't necessarily share that sentiment inside the team.
Itagaki-san and other people on the team felt like Ninja Gaiden 2 should be really unique in its visual presentation, so that every background that you look at, you're thinking, wow.
Oh, you mean the... what was the thing of the storm in the first game? Technique of the art of the storm was a call, I think. Yeah, I think the Windblades are the equivalent of that one. The Ice Storm, yeah. Oh no, you mean in Inazuma? Okay. I think the equivalent of in Inazuma here is like Piercing Void. I'm not sure about that. Oh. Well, probably Ice Storm is the kind of like the Windblade. No, I'm not sure though. I don't want to. I need to ask them.
And we include those so that you can know immediately. Oh, that's Mount Fuji. I know exactly what that is.
This is what makes the difference between a good game and a great game.
Obviously, some locations in the game were inspired by traditional Japanese architecture. The Hayabusa village, we tried to kind of give the essence of what a period village might have looked like. But the majority of the game takes place on a worldwide stage. For Ninja Gaiden 2, we're trying to create something that can really be a masterpiece, that will show off everything that this team is about.
Also like the blend of the east and west of the world. That's quite well done, I think, by the way.
10%, that is the key. That's what defines if it's a good game or not. Those are the hardest.
Ninja Gaiden 2 was too advanced for its time. I think it was underrated at that time, probably. Like very underrated game. Very.
Perfection is the chosen journey of many great minds.
Didn't get the attention it deserved.
A video game or planning a battle. The success or failure of such pursuit is often found.
He was the best traveler. Even went to. There was also like a little bit the Xbox tax. I mean, like in the sense it was like at the beginning only for Xbox, and like lots of people were pissed off. So I think by the critics he got review bombed as well, in the sense that they were like, well, yeah, so fuck you. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering.
Be aware of all facets and all parts, whether it's the game development, some of the marketing, the design,
but that's not great in the sense that regardless for the game, what platform comes for, you just like review the game. You know, I don't know. Oh, Metacritic is like, I think it's 81. I'm like, which is not super high, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's highly misunderstood. But I also think it's highly underrated, by the way, for that time, to be honest.
I want to officially welcome you to Microsoft for today's
that's definitely underrated, definitely.
As you play through the game, I want to let you know that there will be a developer here watching you play. As you play through the game, please do so as you normally would if you were playing it at home.
What
It's
we do is
like
we bring these folks into our playtest labs, and they sit down, they play the game, and they give us feedback about how difficult it is. It was exciting to watch Itagaki-san in our labs and to talk to him about.
Wow, he was watching them. That's a bit creepy though.
Here's how difficult your normal level is.
He was observing them.
Master Ninja is. Here's how difficult the easy level is.
We can determine early on, are users actually having fun?
Can you imagine you're playing and at your shoulder and at your back there is Itagaki watching you? Wow.
Really difficult mode, I think, and it got really hard.
Wow.
Like,
That's frightening.
45 minutes to get used to it and learn some more moves, and then once I learned them, I got much better.
That's very frightening. I mean,
I like that, like a challenge.
I would be scared.
It challenges your imagination, how you can end up beating what you're stuck on. Eventually, when you beat it, you're happy about it, and you're like, yeah, I did that.
I like how it looks like it's real.
But look at the jacket.
The fact that it looks like
Why did he buy that
real
jacket?
ninjas doing it and fighting each other. It's cool to experience it.
The beauty of the game and just the style of it is what will appeal to more casual gamers. But if you don't have the hardcore stamp on it, you're not going to sell copies. I mean, and that's what they will do.
A hardcore gamer, yeah, they'll end up spending half the night with a dozen
Wired controller. Interesting. No wireless.
And a normal game will just sit there with a soda and maybe a bag of chips. It's a very good game, very challenging, which is a good quality in a game for me. I don't like games that are so easy that you just walk right through and it's done.
Yeah, it was a nerd.
Game worth its salt.
My
It's
God.
gonna have smart AI and really, really tough enemies, but you're rewarded with like amazing, battles and buckets of blood.
He's creating a game that's pushing his team, that's pushing the engine, that's pushing the graphics in the way that he's trying to push players.
When faced with a great challenge, the ability to focus is paramount. The past and the future hold no.
Imagine when you get the game over in front of him. Yeah, oh my god. I would start sweating, seriously. It's gonna decapitate you with the dragon sword. You know, Itagaki, I'll make a Samurai Jack game. Oh, yeah.
Do wrong, and this is a way to defeat. What we have to do is be of that pure mind right in the middle of this moment.
Samurai Jack. Didn't know that.
If I have something that needs to be done, then I'll do it. Like if you told me to make a game based on these 3 cushions here, I'm willing to bet you that I could come up with a game designed better than anybody about how to use these 3 cushions in a game. And if I've set my sight on doing that, I'll do it. I'll be very serious and very focused about making that.
Itagaki
Huh.
most of the time can back up with what he says. If he was putting out crap but talking smack, he'd look foolish. But he doesn't do that. He makes great games, and I don't see.
It's kind of like Ninja Gaiden in some. Oh, okay. What platform it was? If you know.
Since the original Ninja Gaiden came out on the Xbox,
Yeah, that was
the amount
quite
of people who are
silly,
playing
yeah.
video games and have more of an appetite for something challenging like this has grown, and I think as more awareness of this game occurs, that there's going to be a general sense of, okay, we want to play this game.
Best creative Ninja Gaiden 2 I've ever seen was someone complaining that the Ninja Gaiden 2 theme song was too similar to the Ninja Gaiden Black theme. Yeah, some critics were like really petty, really fussy stuff.
Something that just reaches out and grabs you in every aspect.
There was a little bit of the Xbox tax, to be honest. No, I don't want to, I'm not. I play what I like, regardless platform. I like, if I like a game, I like a game. I mean, but there was a little bit, so that
I treat everything as if it was a game with a
that's a little bit true. I mean, come on.
where I can win.
Just because the game was not on PlayStation, but yeah, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, 81 on Metacritic is a little bit low, to be honest. Well, the gameplay was a lot better than the first game, I think.
Do what I've set out to do, and I know that people are going to enjoy it.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. I recommend a PC version. Oh, you mean the collection? It has armless like Ninja Gaiden 1. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. That was fun. That was quite fun. And quite explanatory, by the way. But yeah, underrated, very underrated game, yeah. Again, from my side, I would recommend at this point, yeah. Like I think Finryu, he bought an Xbox One X with the with the game as well. I mean, I'll probably replay it, as I said, on Series X or S, the one with the terabyte. Probably that's what I'll do. If I replay it, like, I will replay it to practice and stuff, but I'm probably on newer hardware if you want to play on Xbox. Otherwise, you go for Sigma, the Sigma version, or which is different, though, as for my understanding. And in the Master Collection, you have the Sigma version as well. But yeah, I would say probably newer hardware would be slightly better.
It's more than just the game. It's the action. It's the story. It's the designers and the developers. It's the lifestyle. It's the gamers. It's you. Boom! For more, go to GameplayHD.com.
Alright. That's pretty old. Alright, here we go. That was fun, I think. That was really interesting. Yeah, so I think, yeah, so I think that was it for Ninja Gaiden 2, and yeah, so, but yeah, quite interesting, I would say. Yeah, quite interesting. Yeah, so I hope you guys had a good time. It was, yeah, pretty explanatory, all over the place, all across the board. So Samurai Jack also has flying solo. Sequence is very different. Oh man, you're playing the 360. Oh yes, so yes, that's yes. I mean, I'm playing it on the 360, but now you can like play on the newer Xbox console. So yeah, it's my as a third time I repeated like today. It's my obsession on playing with the original hardware. So I'll get over it maybe one day, but not yet. Yeah. So yeah, that was it basically, and yeah. I'm going to run a commercial. So yeah, by the way, in between the downloadables, this was probably the most interesting part, I would say. Yeah, it doesn't even take up much space on your 360 hard drive, to be honest. But yeah, kind of like something to preserve, basically. I also think that if you kind of go like probably nowadays, but I don't know if someone uploaded it on YouTube or stuff like that. So yeah, I might find it, like random uploads and stuff like that, so that makes it like reachable as well. And yeah, so I think as you play, of course, like PS3 was a little bit less of like these interactive things, but as you start playing, like I mean, since the generation of the 360 and the PS3, of course, there were more so games started to have like DLCs and stuff like that. But also you have like these like kind of like interesting documentaries and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, so there are more things like additionally, of course, with the extra levels. Because I think also at that time, by the way, I think unless you wouldn't have bought like a special edition of the game or stuff like that, probably like playing the DLCs was like really difficult. And but yeah, today everything is, you can download everything is interconnected and stuff like that. But yeah, at that time we're more like apart from Ninja Gaiden Black, of course, where they repackage the DLCs in the disc itself, and that's why everybody is getting that version of the game. So, or like many people are getting the that version of the game, basically. But yeah, today is pretty tough, unless some exceptions. Like, by the way, I've seen like Solid Snake is not here today. I've seen playing like DMC5 Special Edition, I think, like days ago. That's kind of an example where you get like this extra content on disc. So when they repackage the game in that way, I mean, it's kind of an example. That's very cool, because you still you keep the extra content on disc, which today is a rarity. It's something very rare, to be honest. So when they do something like that, I mean, if it's me, I go for it like immediately. So I can keep it like a physical version, but that's just me. I don't know. I'm too much old style, I think. Oh, Ninja Gaiden Black had almost everything from Ninja Gaiden 2004. Yeah. Some things, were missing from 2004. Also, there was the Amulet of Tranquility, which you don't really get very easily in Ninja Gaiden Black. You have more harmlets, I think. Bracelets. But that one where you recover the energy like gradually, it's much tougher to get it in Black, by the way. Yeah, the intercept mechanic. Yeah, that's true. That was. Yeah, you only get Tranquility Mission mode. Yeah, basically it wasn't in the game, so it was just not there. So yeah, but they probably. I think the reason is that they thought that it would have made the game too easy, which. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I think slightly through the end it was pretty much was quite tough, by the way. So near the end was quite tough. So I couldn't. I really don't understand how they thought like, oh, the game is getting too easy. It's not getting too easy. I mean, yeah. So anyway. Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, so basically we're gonna go back. Yeah, next time is gonna be, I'm gonna unveil the next game. We're gonna stream next The Witcher Enhanced Edition, the first The Witcher, yes, like with super old graphics, of course. I am like, yeah, I don't care. Basically, and I'm gonna try my best to make it work well. I'm gonna use a whole Steam machine. I don't know if any of you guys remember the old Steam machines. Like they came out, like Steam attempted to make like built-in PCs or like consoles around 2015, 2016. Yeah, so I'm gonna use one of them to run The Witcher for PC. So. Or on the Steam version, basically. So yeah, we do. That's gonna be the next game that we're gonna play. I hope it's gonna work, by the way. Do my best, fingers crossed. Never say never. But yeah, that's gonna be the next one, and it's gonna be a bit experimental for me because I think it's the first action RPG that I stream. The previous ones were all like just action games. So yeah. So but I would like to stream other action RPGs like Neo 2, Wulong Fallen Dynasty, so it's better to try to get a little bit, start to practice a bit with them, so yeah. But yeah, old style game, but yeah, pretty like well, internationally well known, so yeah, if you guys are around, it'd be nice to check the stream out. And of course, if you guys enjoy the show, hit the follow button. Indeed, Ryu Gumba followed. Thank you. By the way, I was about to say thank you. We are 104 now. Amazing. Thank you, Ryu Gumba. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one as well. Thank you. Again, if you guys happen to have Amazon Prime, you have one free sub per month to give like to any partner or affiliate. If you wanna try out to try with our channel, think about it. Maybe let's try and see if you after a month you feel satisfied like with Stylish Boy 1786 channel, so why not? I can give it a go. Or otherwise, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We accept donations as well, and also if you guys want to clip the stream, I'm gonna repost and feature the clips, of course, and the stream. This one is gonna stay on Twitch and YouTube permanently as well. So I'm gonna keep everything. Also of this Sunday, I'm gonna repost everything of the last 2 weeks. So yeah, we're gonna keep everything here. So on both of them actually. So if you guys want to visit the YouTube side of my channel, would be like there's a massive archive where almost at 700 videos. So cannot get bored, of course. Yeah, thanks so much, and Stylish Boy 1786 signing out, and as always, for gamers, I hope you guys enjoyed Ninja Gaiden 2, and gonna come back next time. I don't know, that was a nice experience anyway. Maybe, let's see, maybe I'll wake up one day, I'm gonna start to stream like TV series as well. No, I'm joking, I don't know, yeah, I mainly like 99% of my free time I spend in gaming, so yeah, that's what it is basically. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks everybody popping in, and thanks Ryu Gumba for the follow. Thanks so much. Bye.